Hello YouTube, it's June 28th, 2022, and as you can see, it's kind of dark. 8:16 p.m. and yeah, I'm headed to work kind of late. I keep saying I'm never going to do this again, but then some days I just can't sleep. And then when it's time to get up and go, I'm just too freaking tired to drive, let alone work or do something as, potentially dangerous as drive a forklift. Now, the funny thing about Amazon is, unlike other jobs, I don't have to call anybody. I don't have to worry about being in trouble. As long as I have enough accrued UPT or PTO. Well, the good news is I've been working quite a bit and I've accumulated plenty UPT. My PTO, on the other hand, is dwindling in a big way. I did wake up enough. I basically got two alarms. One that kind of gets me up early enough to get up and do a couple errands, kind of get myself ready all nice, and go to work. And another one that gets me up like barely in time to go to work. Well, I slept through the first one. I didn't. Interestingly enough, there's a push-through notice still sitting on my phone to tell me that I slept through it. I didn't. I missed the alarm. The second one, I woke up, and at least I woke up enough to hit the Amazon A to Z app, which is Amazon's app that basically handles HR and the stuff you normally call your boss about. And I looked at that and kind of cringed at my dwindling PTO. And I'll explain my problem with my PTO in a moment here, which I feel like I've done that before, but it bears repeating, especially since it's a problem I need to deal with between now and it's a situation that's not going to right itself to the end of next January, which is scary because it's only June, so less than. It's over half a year away. Why is this guy going so slow? Because the guy in front of him is going so slow. Wow, we're on a freeway entrance where the speed is 55 and the guy's barely past 35 miles per hour. So we're not going to have to join traffic that's doing 65 to 70. Oh, well, we've got it up to 40. Thanks for making us a traffic hazard, dude. On a freeway, please find your accelerator. Wow. Sorry, nothing like a bad driver to distract me from whatever the hell it is I was saying. Anyway. God, what was I saying? Oh. Paid time off, yeah. So anyway, my PTO score was down to about 12 and a half hours-ish. And considering that an Amazon shift is, generally speaking, 10 hours, I'm kind of scared because I did use 2 hours of it, which is fine. I woke up enough and hit the app and popped myself in for 2 hours and set my alarm clock for a little less than 2 hours later and went back to sleep hoping for the best. back up, I was, when the alarm went off, I actually woke up a couple moments before the alarm, so I guess that's a good thing. But, yeah, I'm still super tired. I'm super groggy, and my hands hurt more than normal for some reason today. Probably from the piling of pallets. Like, granted, I'm doing the forklift thing, which is a lot less physical energy, but I'm actually working harder when it comes to stacking pallets than I think I ever have, just because as a water spider, now granted I would keep doing that, but I would try to focus on that, but I would inevitably get pulled away from it by management or by myself, either to throw on the line or to bring product out as a water spider. Well, now that I'm being labor tracked all the time as a pit driver, apparently it works out for their labor to just, it's been a while since they've even had me, come help them as a pit driver unloading trucks. In fact, it kind of surprised me because at one point they called in another driver from another area to help us bring product out, when they could have just as easily been like, hey Dan, can you empty, blah 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 door. I don't know if they're just thinking that I can't do that, because I have done that. I'm certainly ready to do that more. Or if they just figured, God, Dan is just busting ass on the wood, nobody does that. So and by wood I mean wood pallets. Dan is busting ass on that, and let's just keep him doing that so nobody else has to deal with that. And more traffic on this road right now than I thought there would be. Yeah, let's just see if we can get us another driver. At any rate, I know they track labor throughout the night, because I hear them talking about it on the the management types talking about it on the radio and stuff. Of course, as a manager, I know the easiest way to keep your labor down is to actually do some work yourself. But anyway, most of the management over there is, oh my God, actually stop and throw product? No, I shouldn't say that. I see people in orange vest and red vest throwing product all the time, but I don't know. It seems like they stress about the amount of labor going out versus product going through. Spend so much time looking at that maybe they just spend more time just looking at who's slacking, where they're slacking, where people are running out of work and just stopping and standing and staring instead of finding something to do, and then doing the same thing themselves. They probably, I would imagine the labor numbers would fall into line. That's typically the way it's worked with any business that I've managed, although pretty much what I've managed has been all food service. Anyway, but that's an Amazon problem, not a me problem. My problem is, when I started, I had noticed how rapidly I was accruing PTO, which is paid time off, and then actually kind of started using it when I realized how convenient it was to use it. And what I did not realize, and I'm sure I was told it, and I'm sure I read something and they explained it, but it's kind of weird the way I learn. Like, a lot of things will, no matter how hard I'm trying to take it in, will escape me, and it takes for me to really get things, it takes repetition, and it takes me actually using it for me to get it. Like, I've noticed, I had a discussion with my older daughter about this, about how hey, if you notice this with a learning curve with yourself, and how with me in a learning curve, or learning something, because I'm taking in so much, and I'll take in details that other people don't find relevant. I'm analyzing everything that I'll lag behind other people that are learning the same thing during the first whatever. And as far as like the days, it depends on what it is I'm learning and stuff. But during the beginning, I'll definitely seem like I'm struggling more than other people, and it's just because of the way I take in information information, data, and learn, and that I don't think the way that people think. I still can't remember the word for normal, but I ain't it, kid. Anyway, it's bugging me. I can't remember that word, because I know that word. It's just I'm trouble pulling it out of my brain. Anyway, so yeah, it would. Anyway, so somehow it completely escaped me that I just assumed the PTO just regularly accrued as you were working, and there's a maximum that you can accrue in a single year. Now UPT does accrue that way, and that's fine. I'm not hurting for UPT, and apparently I won't have any issues with losing my job if as long as I have enough UPT. So I guess that's a good thing. But with me having used just another 2 hours of my dwindling amount of PTO, I only have enough PTO to cover me for one shift. A few minutes. In fact, I'm hoping I can get to work early enough to maybe not use the full 2 hours that I put in. Although, damned if I'm going to get taxed by, it's a matter, at this point it's a matter of money. What do I make more money? Do I hurry up and want to get there and not lose any paid time off and any paid time, or do I just want to do I want to stop and get food? And as I've mentioned many times, like lately I've had 2 days that I've brought pizza from Costco, and I've been really generous with it and just let other people have. Shoot, even Derek had a piece of my pizza on the way out the door this morning, which is funny. It's like, whoa, you're the college graduate big manager type. Why are you so struggling? You need to eat some of my pizza. But anyway, and he had made a comment about just being so broke. I don't know. I'm thinking the guy manages his money as well as he manages everything else as a manager, which is not good. Although, to be fair, Derek has been really nice to me lately, and for the most part just gives me space. And everybody these days just gives me space and let me do what I'm doing. In fact, I've even had a couple managers like, you don't, like, everybody sees how hard you work. You just don't overdo it. And I'm like, no, I'm good. That's what I do. Although, like I said, I am sore in the hands from the stacking wood, because I'm definitely stacking more wood than anyway. So yeah, I've been bringing pizzas from Costco. Now I don't think I woke up early enough to do that today. Not that it matters. I'm already long past Costco, but no, I think I'm just going to do the whole Burger King get two chicken sandwiches and call it good. When I've been sharing the pizza and people just seem like, wow, you're so generous with food, and generally that doesn't happen with anybody, because everybody's really struggling to pay for food. And my comment on that has been, yeah, this whole pizza is $8, and so it's like $2 cheaper than a sandwich from the vending here. And that's pretty much where the sandwiches are, these little tiny sandwiches that they have in their vending. And they no longer have a big sandwich. The big roast beef sandwich that I used to get that was like $5, yeah, that's long gone. And that was the one sandwich that struck me as a pretty good value. I mean, yeah, $5 is a little expensive, but it was a big sandwich. Like, it was I want to say like a 10-inch long sub on like a hoagie roll, and it was just piled with roast beef and then a layer of pepperoncinis, and it just struck me as a good value. And it filled me up. Whereas the other little sandwiches, they really don't. And yeah, they're like over $6. So it's like $8 is pizza enough to feed me the whole night. I mean, I left, even with Derek taking a piece, I still went home and had 2 pieces cold for breakfast today. Or, this morning after work yesterday. It's days like today, yesterday, and tomorrow become so hard to understand when you work graveyard shift. Anyway, yeah. But yeah, my commentary was like, yeah, this is just, it's kind of a no-brainer. I can get this whole pizza, which is enough for me to eat, and even share some food with y'all, and for $6 for a sandwich here. So on that note, yeah, it's, you know, I mean, it'd be nice to try to serve some of that, but I think I want to go spend $6 at Burger King and get 2 good-sized chicken sandwiches, and because I don't have any food on me other than like some really insignificant snacks. Yeah, that reminds me, I got a big-ass bag of Doritos in my room somewhere, and I should have packed them. Anyway, yeah, 2 good-sized chicken sandwiches from Burger King for $6 is better than being on the, and those generally aren't enough to get me through the night, but it gets me through most of the night, so I'm gonna go to Burger King. As you see, I'm past the 75th Avenue exit, so of course I'm going to Burger King. You know, something that happened the other day, I was coming out here and I wasn't vlogging. I actually got kind of stuck in traffic for Desert Sky Pavilion. Well, it's not called Desert Sky Pavilion anymore, it's called something else now, but whatever the giant concert pavilion is, it's just north of here. It used to be called Desert Sky Pavilion. I know I'm not the only person who's lived in Phoenix for an extended period of time that just is tired of it changing corporate names and prefers to call it Desert Sky Pavilion. Whoa, there is somebody walking southbound with an Amazon safety vest on. That is definitely an Amazon safety vest. I wonder if he's heading to work late himself. I didn't really recognize him, but I certainly recognize the safety vest. Anyway, God, I so hope they're open. Burger King does not look open, and it's only 8:33 at night. Gosh, anything else worth mentioning since, man, dude, you got a green arrow. I did the thing to get you the green arrow. Go. I had something tickling my throat, making me cough. Not good. It's hard to tell if they're open or not. I think they are. Sure, it's awfully dark though. I wouldn't be surprised if they'd reduce their hours. I know places like this are really struggling to keep employees. The menu's lit up, that's a good sign.
How much are you getting?
Yeah, I just want to get the 2 chicken sandwiches for $6.
Anything else?
Nope, that'll be it.
652, thank you.
Thank you. Yay, they're open. I need to find my dang card. No line or nothing. That's nice. Trying to find my Discover card here.
Hi, 652?
I'm having trouble finding my right card here. There it is. And every cashier at this place is so cute. Oh, I got a can of Coke. I need to be drinking it. Try to get a little caffeine in my system and wake the hell up. So, yeah, after work, as I mentioned, I did give Derek a slice of pizza and mostly just kind of hung out with my coworkers. I don't know that I'm being that included in the conversation or if they feel like I'm imposing on them, but I don't know, I kind of feel like I belong with that group. And And granted, I could have done my normal of just rushed to the car and split. So I did. Finished a little more on time yesterday or this morning, depending on perspective. And is my receipt in the bag?
There you go.
Cool, thank you. And God, scratching my throat is bugging the shit out of me. But I don't know. I guess I think a lot of it is just it is so brutally lonely for me at home right now, with the way things have disintegrated with Priscilla and I, that and I'd probably even feel better about going home if it was just me and the cats there. But knowing that she's going to be in that space, but either A, she's going to be in that space and there's going to be no connection at all, or B, she's going to be gone and I'm going to be wondering, I wonder where the fuck she is. Either way, it's just not good for my head. So so I mean, if I can hang out and kind of just have a little camaraderie with some of my coworkers until they all kind of disperse for a half hour, that feels almost like half hour of a social life. So I don't know. I notice a lot of my coworkers kind of hooking up, and I kind of wish that would happen to me, but I don't know. I feel like I missed that. I feel like I missed that that part of learning how to do that. I don't really know how to do that, which isn't it's hard to explain. I mean, I know statistically I've been with an obscenely large amount of women compared to what an average man my age would have been with, and I've certainly had more than my share of girlfriends, but I don't think that's because I'm good at making that happen. I think it's just been dumb luck on my part, or I don't know. Can't explain that. But I could have sworn there were speed bumps on this drive here. Oh, there they are. Anyway, yeah, so no progress on that. There's this one new girl that was a line loader that had been kind of flirting with me. I haven't seen her in over a week, so I don't know if she quit already, because that's kind of a normal thing to do in your second week at Amazon, or second, third week, or if she's just already been kind of bounced out to another department, since they've got so many new people. Like, they're doing two large groups of trainees, Sunday and Wednesday again, and so many new line loaders. Like yesterday, I saw like one familiar person loading on the line that was kind of a. And then I ran into some of the other line loaders at lunch that I used to be throwing alongside, and one of them's working in Jam Clear now, which are the people that sit up above the conveyor belts, and they basically monitor all the conveyor belts and make sure everything's working with them. Another one, he was working in another department. I was like, I don't even know what that is. It's just on the other side of NPC, and I'm like, oh, you mean the freaky looking area with all the blinking lights? And he goes, yep, that's it. And I'm like, yeah, I try never to go that deep into the Borg ship for fear that I might be assimilated. And I don't know if he got the reference or not, but he laughed, and which is true. Like, every time I get over there, I'm just like, whoa, where the fuck am I? This is creepy looking over here. But yeah, I guess that's where he's working now. Obviously, an area that requires more training than line loading. And lately, I mean, I'm doing the wood so much, I'm actually missing line loading, but. Anyway, I need to wrap this up. I'm here, and I've not eaten my PTO any more than I have. Anyway, so yeah, I hung out there. Of course, that caused me to get stuck in, the traffic. The traffic builds up quick. Like, if I don't get out the parking lot within the first, 4 or 5 minutes, and I actually hung out here until nearly 6 o'clock, so, in front of the building. So, I was kind of thinking to myself, normally the whole purpose of me driving is that the big time save versus doing the bus and drive thing is that 30 or sorry the 28 27 28 minutes that I would spend walking to and waiting for the bus, I drive home in that amount of time. But I just been hanging out in front of here. But I guess it's cool to say that I had the freedom to do that, because shit, at that point I would have missed that bus. So and been waiting for the next one, which granted I think comes in 20 minutes later. Anyway, yeah. So then, of course, there was traffic on I-10. Ended up taking Van Buren Street to going south out of here by the cornfields, Van Buren to 35th, and then from 35th, it seems like the traffic broke at around 43rd, looking at the Google traffic view, which is what I was doing while I wasn't vlogging. I didn't really have anything to say. But anyway, when I got home, now I want to say I stopped at Circle K, get my free drink and my $1 bag of candy. The cashier who'd been kind of flirty with me, she was there, but she just she seemed real engrossed with the conversation with her coworker, and all she had to say to me was hi, nothing else. I didn't even feel like she recognized me. So, which is a little disappointing. I was kind of hoping that we'd have a short conversation and exchange numbers, but yeah, she hardly acknowledged my existence. But sure looked good in her tight jeans. Anyway, after that, I just went straight home. I want to say I got home probably about 6:30, 6:40-ish. Priscilla's vehicle was there. I came in and I was kind of surprised to see, in fact, I was kind of completely thrown off by it, because when I went in, if her vehicle's, it's a crapshoot. If her vehicle's not there, she stayed the night with, whoever she stays the night with, or maybe she went to get some coffee or whatever in the morning. But she's told me that she went out for coffee before on nights where I've got home, before midnight, and tried to make it say, I got up and went for coffee. Bullshit, bitch, I got here at midnight and you weren't here. And whatever. It's clear that's enough of that. We're past that mattering. But it still upsets me. But yeah, so I got there and she was there. Vehicle was there, but she was not asleep in her nest on the couch. I was kind of crossing my fingers that maybe the silence between us had made her actually kind of starting to long for me as well. But no, she was not in my bed either. And she was I'm gonna find out she was already, I didn't hear her talking on the phone, but I kind of peeked in, and she was already in Lily's room, in her office mess, as opposed to her sleeping on the couch mess. And I don't know, it's odd. She doesn't usually start work that early, so I'm not sure what's up with that, but it was a little different. As I said, I didn't sleep well, but it's not like I really had any contact with her. It's just being online, it was just kind of up doing my own thing, and went to sleep. I went to sleep around, I would say after 10:30, and then I woke up, and it was not even noon yet, and I couldn't get back to sleep, and I was awake most of the afternoon, trying to go to sleep, couldn't get to sleep, trying to go to sleep. At one point she did come in the room, and I forget what she asked, but I just told her I was having trouble sleeping. And anyway, I looked at the wound on my leg, and I was laying there fully exposed naked. I thought maybe she would want some of that, but no. She told me she was having... So yeah, the Cox had repair people out the other day, and they moved the modem from my room to her room. They said the problem with her computer was that the piece of Cat 5 that was running from where the modem was in my room to her room wasn't working. I used to use that piece of Cat 5 myself. I know it used to work, but I have no way of testing it. It is missing an end, so it might have just become loose. You know, the little click in that clicks in when you put it in, that part's broke. I'm like, well, can't you crimp a new end on it and test it? He's like, no, we don't carry that stuff, which I thought was pretty lame. That runs through a wall and everything. It'd be a real ordeal to replace it. So the easiest thing to do, there is a piece of coax that runs into Lily's room. I used to have a second TV tuner in there for her. And when I was using, like, doing full cable. So it's like, that's fine, just move it in there. And as much as that kind of frustrates me, as I sort of prefer having the router where it was in my room, it's like, you know what? Pretty much looking to make Priscilla pay for the whole thing. I don't really use it much anymore. So, you know, the whole plans I had for the Nerve Center being there and running Cat 5, also, you know, to my computer at my desk, there's no computer at my desk, and to a router in the kit in the bed, you know, through another route of cables going into the living room with the router in there for all the internet and enabled devices there. Yeah, none of them are switched on anymore. So yeah, it's like, whatever. I'm not doing that till she moves, so it's probably better. And every now and then she comes in and she wakes me up. She's like, hey, I need you to reset the modem, which involves me pulling the power plug out and putting it out. It's hard to get to, and it's like, yeah, fuck, I just move it there. I was just annoyed I had to be up with a repair guy, you know, all in my space, which is horrifically messy and embarrassingly messy, and just, I don't want anybody here. Anyways, it's back there, and he tested it, and, you know, and showed once it was connected there, like, it was getting the kind of bandwidth numbers that she needs for her job. But apparently she's still having issues with it, and she's going round and round. Her employer is blaming saying it's her internet service provider. And I'm not saying it even isn't. I know I've definitely noticed with Cox that your speed is not consistent. Sometimes you have good speed, but if you got a bunch of people in your neighborhood that are, you know, streaming or doing whatever, using a lot of bandwidth, your bandwidth drops. It just is what it is. So she's saying it's in her employer saying it's her internet service provider. I mean, to me, the solution to this is simple. Have everybody come back to the fucking office. The pandemic is functionally over. But anyway. Don't get me wrong. I support the concept of work from home. I'm just sick of her working in my home. Anyway, and that would solve that problem. But hearing them bicker about that is it's frustrating to me. And of course that she came in to, you know, vent about that as opposed to feel up my naked body that was laying on the bed that could really use some physical attention. It was a little frustrating as well. Anyway, I did manage to go to sleep after that. As I explained, I overslept. I need to get myself in there. It's 49 after. Oh, shut up. Yeah. Anyway, at some point, like after I reset my alarm clock, she came in and is like, hey, you're not going to work tonight? And I'm just like, I'm super tired. I'm gonna go in a little. I already hit the hap. I'm gonna go in a couple hours later, in a couple hours. And she's like, oh, okay. And then when I woke up at about 8 o'clock, she's not there. Vehicle's gone. Anyway, not wasting time like I did the last 2 times when that happened to go see where she is. She is where she is. I need to just force myself to not give a shit anymore, but it's not easy.